Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing my Batman Cape Crusaders episode 4 review. So this episode starts off with the current mayor of Gotham City ordering a task force to apprehend Batman because when in doubt, when somebody actually is doing your job better than you, um, you gotta always take him out, I guess. Um, so far to date, I will just say this was probably my favorite episode so far out of the three, because it was just kind of self-explanatory. Batman being chased by the cops, and Batman doesn't really necessarily care because he's trying to save people and stuff like that, but he is aware of it and stuff like that. So I really did like this episode the best to date out of the three other episodes so far. There was actually kind of like a force on what the cops are doing and what Batman is doing. So we then see, obviously the mayor is talking to Commissioner Gordon, who, basically then talks to his, lead detective, who she is basically the one who is going to run this task force. So, yeah, with the lead detective, Renee Montoya, running the operation. She devises a couple different plans to try and bait Batman in. First, doing the whole, trying to get people that are being, attacked at alleys and stuff like that. She's planning cops in there to disguise, and Batman's not falling for it. So then she tries to do a car chase, which, of course, when they think they have him captured, doesn't work out because Batman has, his Batmobile has, special turbo powers, which just goes ram right through the police cars and vans. So that doesn't work. So then we got Dr. Quinzel, who we've seen in the previous episode, obviously, aka Harley Quinn, who's she basically, explains what they have to do, and they basically said they need a weirdo to capture Batman and lure him in, basically. So we see the corrupt detectives, Arnold and Harver. Uh, so we see Harvey and Arnold, like I said, who use basically criminal tactics to basically lure him out. So they free one of a criminal they caught called Firebug, as bait to lure Batman in. As part of the plan, they basically let Firebug free, basically indirectly free. Like, he's driving, they drive him out. We see Barbara, who's the attorney, basically say, "Oh, must be an oversight, that they didn't tell you." So they go out and they basically pretend that their car is you know, they pretend their car is just basically damaged or whatever, and they go look at it, and because of this, they leave a lighter right there, and they leave the costume in the trunk, so Firebug can get it and the lighter. To my question here is, what if Firebug just totally turned on the detectives and burned them? This plan could have easily gone sideways for the two detectives. Just saying that this this could have gone easily like sideways for them, but they took the risk here. Um, so they let Firebug basically go roam free and start a fire, basically, in an apartment. And Batman basically arrives to rescue the citizens. And the SWAT officers that were led by Arnold and Harvey were basically, you know, they were, trying to, shoot Batman down while, you know, not even really caring about the innocent people that were possibly going to get burned in this apartment, basically in this process. While Batman is just trying to simply rescue them. So Arnold and Harvey, the detectives, basically they track down Firebug, who now has run out of fire, or because he was using stuff in his gas tank or whatever, and basically they gun him down, and they take then pictures of of them basically gunning Firebug down. Um, Batman basically is trying to rescue the kids, where Gordon is basically indirectly helping him just so he could rescue the kids. He disapproved of, obviously, the Taskmaster's methods on the citizens, and they do save the citizens. After Gordon and Batman work temporarily together to save the citizens, Batman disappears once more. When the newspaper comes out, basically the two detectives are viewed as heroes, and the current mayor, puts them in charge of the Batman task force. Because Commissioner Gordon saved people, he was allowed to keep his job, but was basically put on the sidelines for the two detectives. So their plan didn't go exactly the way they wanted it to, because the whole mission was to capture Batman, but they were led as heroes instead of losing their badges, which is what Commissioner Gordon wants to do, because he knew that they did this on purpose. That they planned Firebug, they planted Firebug, which he knew that they did it. But now the mayor doesn't care about that, even if it was true, because again, the mayor, wants results in his current election with Harvey Dent. So this is what ends up happening, I guess, basically. That's how the episode ends. It's very short and explanatory thing. We see at the end of the episode, we see Renee, Gordon, and Barbara, all like basically at the bar having a drink, and just not happy about the situation because they know the truth. As you know. Oh, and I also forgot to mention that during the episode, Batman did confront Commissioner Gordon too, beforehand, as well, in his office. So there was a lot of trickery going on throughout this episode as well. But nonetheless, a very, very good episode. This to me was kind of more thought out of an episode, of what you would think, when you think of a Batman episode. The first couple episodes kind of mushed a lot of things in. I kind of wish that this kind of would have been the first episode, written a certain way, where it would have made sense, because I feel like this could have been the first episode. Like this to me feels better as a first episode than the other episodes. The other episodes, they kind of were resolving around specific villains, But this episode to me is how they should have started out episode 1, because like you kind of, or at the very least episode 2, because they did set up the whole thing with Batman debuting and stuff like that. But this is kind of what I would have liked as a debut episode, because obviously we know towards the end, we're going to see Batman be more of the hero viewed as the people, viewed as the public belief will be to the people, because that's what's eventually going to happen. Is Batman's going to eventually be viewed as the hero by the civilians, eventually, once the corruption gets weeded out. That's going to eventually, that's how it always ends up happening. So to me, this kind of would have been the better route to have gone, for a first episode or a second episode at the very least. Waiting until episode 4, I don't think was the right idea here, for something like this. But that's just my take on it. So yeah, that's kind of how the episode ends. Again, a lot of good stuff came out of this episode, with Commissioner Gordon, what he wants to do, trying to weed out the corruption. Of course, he has got a curveball now because of what the mayor wants. You just see a lot more things going on here. And you get to see a little more of, Barbara Gordon, who's obviously different in this continuity, as we all know. Her being a defense attorney in this. So you got a lot of different elements in this thing that kind of shows more of what you want to see. The 2 other episodes after the first episode were just kind of like placed, I think, for specific villains. Which again, I feel like those episodes could have been placed later, since they were one-off episodes for like Penguin, Catwoman. You know what I'm saying? Like where this is kind of leading more into how the plot is going about with Batman as a vigilante. So I like this episode. This was so far my favorite episode of them all. Not saying that the other episodes were bad, but I just feel like this was a much better episode for where they want to go with the plot. And I feel like this episode should have been earlier on than the other episodes. Because you could do a Catwoman episode at any point in the series. You could do a Penguin episode at any point in the series. But a debut episode with, establishing Batman as the vigilante and stuff like that, all that stuff kind of, to me, should be established more early on in the series. So that's kind of where I think. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with that? Do you guys disagree with that? Let me know. But that's the end of the episode. Make sure to comment, rate, if you like this video, my videos. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell for the latest contents. Thank you. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace. Also, make sure, besides my YouTube channel, the SS Ultimate Goku, to follow me on the Twitch, the Instagram. Also, I have Discord link in the description. We talk about various topics, including this one here. So now I'm out. Peace.